Hello, welcome to the Transfer Learning Part 2. I will be discussing about these four things. Initially, I will be discussing about Inception Network's motivation, and then what is Inception Network. I will also be discussing about the transfer learning in computer vision domain, and then I will be discussing about the use case of transfer learning. Now, what is the motivation? So, I hope that you have seen the movie Inception. It came in 2010. Based on that, the idea is same behind the Inception model. We need to go deep. So in that movie it was about going dream into dream, but now in our model we want to go deeper in convolutions. So let's say that we have this image of 28 cross 28 cross 192 size, and we are applying three different filters and one max pool layer. So initially we are applying 1 cross 1 and then 3 cross 3 filter and also 5 cross 5 filter and then the max pooling. The conditions are that number of filters in 1 cross 1 is 64, so this will fetch us a size of 28 cross 28 cross 64, which can be seen here as the green cuboid. And similarly, if we use 3 cross 3 filter with same convolution rule and the number of filters to be 128, the size will be 28 cross 28 cross 128, that is this blue cuboid here. And then the filter size of 5 cross 5 with number of filters as 32 and same convolution rule, then we will get the size of 28 cross 28 cross 32, that is this violet cuboid. And then the max pooling with the stride of 1 and the same convolution is applied, we will get this size of 28 cross 28 cross 32. You can do it mathematically, but once we get all of these things, we will get this combined size of 28 cross 28 cross 256. So you can see here that initially we were having this number of channels as 192 and the final size of number of channels is 256. Now let us see the problem of computational cost. How much computation is required for this process? Let's say that we have this size of 28 cross 28 cross 192 and we want to get a size of 28 cross 28 cross 32. So this is similar to this violet cuboid. So only this 32 depth is being checked for its computational cost. So for that, what we need is, we know that the size of the image is 28 cross 28 cross 192 and the size of the filter is 5 cross 5, number of filters are 32. To get this number, we have to do these number of computations. So 28 cross 28 cross 192 multiplied by 5 cross 5 cross 32, which is equivalent to nearly 120 million computations. So I hope that you realize the number of computations required for the full size of 256 depth. We are only checking it here for 32 depth, but if we want to see and we want to calculate for 256, for this 256 depth, just imagine the number of computations required for it. Now let's do the same thing with 1 cross 1 convolution. So the final size is this only, 28 cross 28 cross 32 only, and the initial size was this only, 192 depth. But if we use 1 cross 1 convolution with number of filters as 16, the computation will be 28 cross 28 cross 192 into 16. Why? Because 1 into 1 into 16 is 16 only. So number of computations for this part is 2.4 million, and similarly for this part in which I am using this 28 cross 28 cross 16 into the convolution of 5 cross 5 and number of filters are 32, so computation will be around 10 million. So total of 12.4 million computations if we add these two, which is very less in comparison to 120 million. It is nearly 10% of it. Now how did this happen? We had used only 5 cross 5 filter here, and because of that we achieved this 120 million computations. But when we combined this 5 cross 5 with 1 cross 1 filtering, we achieved total of 12.4 million computations. So this is the advantage of using 1 cross 1 convolution, and this was used very heavily in Inception module. Now let's see. In Inception module, let's see first how the connections are made. So initially, the previous activation which was coming, we had convoluted it with the 1 cross 1 convolution and we passed it to the 5 cross 5 convolution. Similarly, we did this for 3 cross 3 convolution and 1 cross 1 convolution was sent as it is. And this max pooling was also passed through 1 cross 1 convolution, and in the end we got this concatenation and the size of 256 was achieved. You can see that we have already discussed 1 cross 1 if done we will get this green box, then 3 cross 3 we will get 128 box, then 5 cross 5 this 32 box, and the max pool and 1 cross 1 convolution this yellow box. Now this was how inception network looked like. You can see that the network is very deep, and focus on only this highlighted box, this red box. This is equivalent to one inception module that we have already seen. So multiple inception modules were used, and the computation was done accordingly, improving the overall accuracy. So this was the full architecture. Now transfer learning in computer vision domain. So there are three types of transfer learnings. I have taken example of AlexNet here. Let's say that we have this 7-layer AlexNet in which we have 5 CNN layers and then the 2 fully connected layers. If I want to implement transfer learning using case 1, what I have to do is I have to change the input images and also the activation function in the end. So let's say that initially the AlexNet was trained on 1000 objects of ImageNet dataset, but then if we want to do it for just binary classification, instead of 1000 classes we want only 2 classes, I can only use sigmoid activation function instead of softmax in that case, and just replacing the softmax with sigmoid and giving the inputs and then doing the training will do our job. The second method can be that we can design our own model, and we can add maybe multiple CNN layers, and or maybe we can connect it to any other model. So just using the initial and the middle layers and then adding our own layers in the end will be valid for case 2. And in case 3 all of the model was kept same, but yes, we trained it with our own dataset fully. We did not kept any layer as it is, we trained all the layers. These are the three types of transfer learning techniques that we can implement. So this AlexNet can be replaced by ResNet or maybe GoogleNet or maybe VGG. So any kind of model can be implemented using transfer learning using these three methods. AlexNet is only one example out of it. So multiple applications are there. If we change these final layers, it can look different for different image classification domains, and even the image captioning with the RNN model. RNN will be covered in the NLP section. Object localization with the bounding box. Image segmentation with the fully connected networks, that will be discussed in self-driving car. And even the image segmentation with the deconvolutional layers. So all of these things might change the architecture inside this red box, but all of these things come under transfer learning only. This is one of the use case that I have picked from my research paper that was published in 2019, transfer learning in 2.5D face image for occlusion, presence and gender classification. So what I did was I used the 3D images and then I converted them into 2.5D, the depth images, in a way that the front of the face was darker, and as we go back on the face the image gets lighter. So it is moving from dark pixel value to the light pixel value. So this is how depth image can be defined. So one version of the dataset was converted into occlusion and non-occlusion images, and for the second type of dataset that I converted was male versus female. So my model was trained, I have taken example of AlexNet here in the diagram. So at this level, at this fully connected layer level, I gave my classification as binary, and I gave the input image from the occlusion dataset or the gender dataset, and I got my work done for the binary classification in case of occlusion and non-occlusion also, and also the male versus female. So this was one of the use case that I had implemented in this research paper using the AlexNet, but also there were many other models that were implemented. You can go and read my research paper about that. So this is one of the very interesting challenge for computer vision. So you can say that in the initial layers of AlexNet, let's go back. So let's say that in the initial layers of AlexNet, we are dealing with the low level features. In middle layers, we are looking for the middle level features, and then the final layers are working on the high level features. So these are kind of high level features. So the lips, nose, and the eyes are the high level features. What are the low level features? If we are looking at the edge, if this edge is going through this side or maybe this side, so the high level features, when checked while doing the classification, it might be a case that there are our model has trained in a way that yes, there are two eyes, one nose, and one mouth. So it is a face. But if image comes like this, so there are two eyes, still there are two eyes, lips are there, and nose is also there, but the sequence is not right. This does not look right. Even if our CNN says that it is a face, it is not. Why? Because the sequence is not right. Two eyes have to be at the top of the nose, and nose has to be at the top of the mouth. So that sequence is missing on this side, but still it will classify this into a face. So this is one of the challenge in computer vision. Thank you.